Now when it comes to Drake, well now if you're ready to see how after we have gotten closer than ever to 100% knowing that lame old Lawbury has been hiding a child again all along, well our Karen just embarrassed himself in his reaction to this and has never looked more guilty. Make sure to leave that like and subscribe, and now really. As with how Karen just ran away from rap and these allegations all the way home to Bobbi Althoff, well what we are seeing currently with Lawbury going out as shameful and lame old than ever. It is just showing that Wheelchair Jimmy is spiraling and scared, so make sure to leave that like because right now, with none other than rap's first courtside Karen, who loves court so much that he just went back to court for something way different than what he started going to court for in the first place. Well, after he saw Aubrey petitioning to change his name to Lawbury for good, all when the clips from David Lewis Wall came out and we all saw Drake trying to go into family court and not being seen. Well now with all of this, as Lawbury the sequel has nothing to do with Drake's current family and child that Pusha T made him claim, and it's seemingly showing us that this is all about something that we don't even know. What we are discovering is that with Lawbury being back in prime form and running away from family that he does not want to claim and step up and do what he is supposed to, is that things are looking atrocious, and making this all even worse, what we have just found out from Drake Kelly is that he is not going to give up and he will continue to run away and dodge any sort of accountability that he needs to with this situation and others before he sits and takes his seat right over there. And well, what we are finding out now, and really to me and anybody else who is keeping up with all of this, is showing itself to be an almost indicator of some sorts of Drake being in trouble and knowing it, and as a result, trying to divert or wash out all of this bad attention with something much more annoying. Well, specifically is something that I am going to say is a pattern from Karen that I guess we can call the Karen cycle or Lawbury loop or something like that. And now what this is a pattern where something bad is going on that will make Drake look worse, and this can range from going to court in the first place to the stuff that the label said recently that's way more than a minor issue, or right now where we all know that you were in family court and seeing that you are probably hiding a whole other family behind the scenes. And well, with these controversies and bad headlines, what Drake does like an all-time clout chaser and engagement farming loser is never stop and address these issues no matter what, and even just let other people find out about them. And in response, what Lawbury does is distract and divert attention off of him like the biggest loser we have ever seen. And now when it comes to something like being spotted in court, and Lawbury knew that he was seen, and if this got out, things were probably going to get even worse for him if we would have saw this in real time. Well, what he did so people didn't dig around and stumble on the truth was drop the Nokia video, and this clown is so petty without dedication that he even ended up making a post around this time, which while we laughed at in the moment and thought this was fully about rap and losing to Kendrick Lamar and wanting to make some sort of a petty comeback, well now within this, using words like podium and this picture of Karen where it looks like he is leaving court in the car. I mean, what we are seeing now based on what we know is that he does not even know how to properly hide whatever he is trying to shield us from, and with this, and then in addition to whatever we just saw when the label came out and said, hey Drake, you got a few more than some minor issues which we are going to expose you for, well really, Lawbury loves going into this loop and just trying to distract and divert his fans from understanding the truth, or even us for that matter, in any way he possibly can. And really building on this, in this time where there is tangible proof in terms of the whole family court issue of Drake going into the court, and then there's drawings which are showing a mystery woman. Well, Lawbury has really given us an indicator that he is guilty, because to respond to this, which would be now getting Pusha T'd for the second time and more than anything else we have ever seen to a greater magnitude because of how high the stakes have been, well now in this moment where we are on the verge of seeing Kendrick Lamar's diss track Meet the Grams be 110% true, which would make the Drake stans never be able to talk about anything the same here ever. Well, overall, Lawbury is scrambling and spiraling, and it almost does feel like he is very worried that more is going to come out about this. And well, as a result, he started it already, and he is teasing a lot more to come, but he is ready to drop something that the engagement farmers will make the most annoying thing you see on your timeline when it drops, which will end up being something big, but for all of the wrong and most annoying reasons. And now what I'm talking about is an announcement that Karen made, which is all going to be around his first interview that he has done since the beef. And well, it's not with Elliott Wilson or Sway or Zane Lowe even, or even someone like Academics who is on Team Drake and would ask him hip-hop questions, and he has an allegiance to him. But instead of this, who Karen is running to is Bobbi Althoff. And well, with this, you can see the video that Drake and her posted to try and show that they have never been more back, but in reality, I mean, come on, what are we doing? These two have never looked more lame with this, because to see the full cycle moment of the moment that did really feel like it started the last era for Drake before he lost absolutely everything, because if we remember, this first Bobbi interview came and started a bunch of controversy, and quickly after that, Mos Def said he's not hip-hop, and then Kendrick Lamar followed that up with Like That, and it was all downhill from there. But really, this does feel significant for Drake, but for all of the wrong reasons, and for showing how bad this guy has fallen to the point where he is scared to sit down with anybody even related to hip-hop, whether they are on rap side or his, and he'd rather just laugh with Bobbi Althoff. And really now to once again try and cover up and dodge maybe hiding an entire other family, while at the same time he is just gonna sit and try to go viral for being as immature as possible. Well, really for our Karen, what I have to say about this is from getting hip-hop mad, because you know legendary journalists like Elliott Wilson are gonna rant about who he is speaking with after everything we have seen and how he is scared of going to hip-hop platforms, to then just the response to everybody else, which those annoying engagement farmers are going to do whatever cringe things that they do to try and act like this is funny. Overall, from making hip-hop mad to filling up the timeline with useless discourse that we are not going to be able to escape. Really for our Karen, when you understand the play and see that he has this thing ready to go, he is totally using this as a cover-up for whatever he possibly needs to. And well, in addition to that, things did not stop there, as it also does seem like Lawbury is trying to tell his fans and continue to lie to them, as he wants them to think that whatever came out is fake and that he would not be an awful person who hit a kid, although of course he did that already in the first place. As yet in another post, which once again is showing us how Drake will not stop yapping, he ended up saying, "Y'all could learn a thing or six, but I'm done filling the career gaps with a bridge, real." And now as Drake posted this alongside a lame collage where at the center you can see him taking a mirror selfie next to a sign that says BS Corner, well, this seems to be our Karen's way of telling all the losers who want to believe him that he is amazing and that all the stuff coming out is fake, and they are trying to paint a false narrative to continue to ruin him because everybody's against him and everything is rigged and stolen to ruin the Drake name and he can do no wrong. And this is just another example of that. And listen, while Karen can do this and all the Drake stans can try to act like this is nothing, when we just see the source of where we got this, and from this guy who just seems super nice, and to be honest, well, when you just see why he was there, he wasn't there to cover Drake or the beef, and he probably doesn't even know about that, and he was just there to cover the courts and complain about how things were not public, which he believed was highly wrong and suspicious. And just doubling down on all of this, he was referring to Drake as a singer and really didn't even understand who he was, which was also funny. Well, really, from this to the fact that we now have sketches and can see Karen actually walking into the courtroom and know he was there, and there's a whole timeline of him canceling and running around things last minute, which only add more and more to this. I mean, listen, Lawbury can do all the loser gymnastics that he can, but no matter what at this point, he just can't run away from the truth. And really, as we are in this time where it is the lies versus the truth, and we are almost waiting to see where Drake is going to end up and where all of this is going to go. Well, listen, no matter what other lies he tries to convince us of, we can all see the play, and no matter how much noise our Karen tries to make, well, we are just going to have to wait and see him eventually reach a point where he can't run away from all of this anymore, and Meet the Grams will probably be proven true. And so now with all this said, let me know. What do you think about our Karen's response to all of this, how he is trying to run away from these horrible things that are showing that he is one of the worst people possible, and what do you think is going to happen from this situation overall? Well, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about all this. Now, if you made it to this point in the video, you know what to do. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And now, if you want to see how right before this, well, Drake really did just get caught, and everything got so bad with the reaction to it, check out the suggested video.